are watching IndiaNewsTamil.com.
Are engineer students. We are going to have a tremendous number of opportunities, which my age at my time was never there. Everything is right there, and at the same time I am positive India can
basically take this whole dream of what we are and Great Lakes forward. So this symposium is something very special. As Uncle Bala basically said, and in his inimitable way, he just summarized everything that I wanted to say, but in far better ways than I ever could. So, but this is an amazing symposium, and we have an amazing group of people here on stage. People who are so accomplished, people who have, who have done so much to further industrial growth, to further technological, to meet all the technological challenges and to go ahead of them. This is truly an amazing panel of speakers. So let me start by talking about where we are today. We are at the crossroads. We are at the crossroads not in terms of saying, should we go digital or not? That train has long left the station. Companies that have said that we are not going to go digital or are too slow to react have long missed that train, and they have no further opportunities. So think about the question, how should we do it and how fast should we do it? I was at a conference the other day, attending an HR summit hosted by NASSCOM. And the one word that people kept repeating over and over again was agility. Everybody is looking to transform themselves. Everybody is looking to equip themselves for what the challenges are of the future. And how fast we do it, how quickly we do things, and how fundamentally we transform our organization to cope with the changes of tomorrow. That is really what everybody is talking about. Agility, such a powerful word, right? How nimble we are, how versatile we are, how much are we able to completely transform ourselves. And there are some who basically say we need to upgrade ourselves. And there are those we call digital upgraders, which is just taking an existing technology or existing way of doing things and simply improving it. But a lot of organizations are realizing that that is not enough, that we need to fundamentally change the way we do things. And why is that important? It is important because of you. You are the consumers who are interacting with the companies, many of whom are on stage or here present in this room. You're the ones interacting with them as consumers. You're the ones interacting with them as future employees. And they're all asking this question, how can we basically meet the changes of tomorrow to basically cope with the demands that you guys have? Think about it. 200 CEOs just a few days ago came to the realization that shareholder profit is not the only imperative. They came to the realization that customers are important, other stakeholders are important. Now, if I put on my marketing hat, I would have said, welcome to the party, you came to this party a little late. I would have always told you this, right? But the fact is, think about it, the customers, other stakeholders are such an important part, and we talk about corporate social responsibility, we talk about customer focus. Uncle Bala talked about customer astonishment. That is really what we need. How do we take all our stakeholders forward? How do we basically create memorable experiences for them? That is really what technology is all about. Technology is basically blurring the lines between yesterday and tomorrow. It is basically bridging things in such a way that we can seamlessly move forward into tomorrow. And what we have today, the technologies of today and the technologies of tomorrow, are basically going to take us into a realm where anything is possible. We saw today this example of a robot that spoke to us. Technologies like this, artificial intelligence and the amount of learning that is happening in terms of equipping robots and self-driving cars and all of that, this is really where things are headed. And you guys are sitting here forcing that pace of change in many ways. I had a Tesla Model 3 when I was in the US, okay? And that car was amazing because it had enhanced autopilot, it had the ability to navigate itself. I would get software updates seamlessly over the cloud. I didn't have to take my car to a maintenance showroom or maintenance place or anything. That everything would just get updated without any effort at all. But that's really where technology is headed. Self-driving cars are a reality, or almost a reality. California has already said that this is going to be approved, and it is going to be on the roads in just a year or two. We'll see self-driving technologies. But this is where the future is headed, and this is where people, leaders in technology, are innovating constantly. And all of you sitting in this room today are about to hear from these leaders and to learn from them and to contribute to this discussion. Because I think it is really important for you to engage with them and to basically learn and engage in such a way that we all benefit from the knowledge that is being created together in this classroom. I use those words very carefully. Knowledge that is being created in this classroom or in this room here. Because we talk about the notion of co-creation of value. There was a time when people used to just sit, if I put on, again, if I think about my days in advertising, we used to have advertising that was beamed out to customers through television. Today, digital marketing has changed the entire conversation where consumers, customers are jointly creating value, contributing ideas back to the company. What is enabling that? Digital technologies, seamless interaction with companies, dialogue, transparency. These are the ideals on which co-creation of value is founded. And that is really where technology is headed. And I'm so glad that we have so many people here, illustrious people here, who can share their wisdom with you. So without any further ado, please join me in welcoming our speakers here. And I'm delighted to welcome all of them here and to basically declare this function open. So, Jai Hind, thank you.
Josh, good morning.
Good morning.
I love that. We got here to the campus at about 6:15 yesterday, and as we came through the gates, we came a little further down, we were met by Meenakshi and the team. I kept looking around, and the energy was just amazing. I couldn't sleep last night. I got up at 3 o'clock. I was up till 5 o'clock. And I told Suresh that Professor gave Dean Ramanathan this morning. He said, why? I don't think I can express to you, first of all, how humbling it is to be invited here. I do not come here as an expert on anything. I'm a student of the consumer and a student of retail. I started at the bottom in my career. I used to stock shelves, unload trucks, and clean floors at a retail store in the US out of lack of choice. I did not have the opportunity to go to school like you did. So today, as I hear the introduction I get, I don't think I'm deserving of it. I'm here to give back to you what I missed out in my life in a sense. So I hope this is more sharing of a journey rather than an expert speaking about anything. Because honestly, every day I believe I have a hell of a lot more to learn. The energy in this place is absolutely fascinating. You know, I think Balaji sir said when I met him yesterday evening, that's the first thing I said, this place is awesome, yeah. I want to go back to school, not to study, just to chill. But Balaji said, why don't you bring your family and come here? I said, absolutely. I saw a 4-point Sheraton down the road, but I'll take this any day. So anyway, without further ado, what I'm going to share with you is a journey. It's an honest journey. I think I already kind of shared my background. And I think a lot of that background has to do with what we did in SPAR the last 3 years. It's not about the title, it's not about the position. But I worked with some amazing people, which became company. I joined Target when it was a $3 billion company. I left it when it was 67. I joined as a department manager in a store. I used to run small departments, and I left as the vice president of stores. I came back to India as the head of retail for Walmart. I joined McKinsey without an education qualification. And I kept asking myself, how was I so lucky? I think right through, it was the people you surrounded yourself with, the environment that is created for you in terms of innovation, exploration, and risk-taking that made me what I am today. I joined SPAR about 3.5 years back, and a lot of you, I'm sure, don't know about SPAR. I stopped being arrogant when I joined SPAR and I started handing out my business card to everybody. And I think 10 out of 10 people didn't know what SPAR was. SPAR, by the way, is one of the biggest food retailers in the world. It's based in Amsterdam, and it is a franchise that's taken by my owners, the Landmark Group Dubai. It has close to about 12,500 stores, and very soon we're going to be in 50 countries. The beauty of SPAR has been how fast and how quickly we share knowledge. I think Professor Bajandran talked about it. In today's world, that is ever more critical than just coming up with knowledge, because a lot of people don't do anything with it. 3 years back, when I joined SPAR, just like any other new boss who takes over business, I sat down and started talking to my team about, who are we, what are we doing, what are the business results, what's happening around us. And I heard all this stuff coming at me. And this, very gratefully, was given by my CTO, who's also going to be talking later on this evening. And half of which somebody like me didn't understand. But I kept on saying, oh yes, AI, BI, CI, DI, right? No, I'm not joking. I am not a techie by any sense of the imagination. I think one of your colleagues who sang this morning was busy trying to download an app for me because I didn't even know how to get on to get an app from someone. But as this information kept coming to me, we all sat around and started asking ourselves what we were doing and why we were doing what we were doing. All I kept hearing from my team, especially when we started talking about the Bangalore stores, was that we were struggling because of traffic. We were struggling because of Amazon. We were struggling because of Big Basket. We were struggling because of Big Bazaar. And all I kept hearing was all the reasons why something was not going to work. And I kept asking myself, and I asked them the same question. I said, then that means we keep doing what we're doing. Guess what we're going to get? The same result. Nothing was going to change. So I pushed them to start looking out and saying, what are you seeing outside? What is happening in the market? Let's just talk. Let's just throw away all the numbers. Let's see what's happening. What is so special about India? And I think Dr. Bajandran couldn't have said it any better. I don't think most of us even realize the power, the diversity, and the opportunity that sits in this country. And I say this having been outside of this country for 21 years. When you see all these kind of things you're saying, and everywhere you looked, every morning when I drive around, all I see was entrepreneurship around me. And that's when I started pushing my team saying, let's take a risk and let's go somewhere where somebody hasn't gone. I remember the speech that my ex-CEO from Target, Bob Aldrich, who was a visionary and one of the leaders of retail, I still carry a small booklet with me. And it talked about, I think it was the Robert Frost poem, which tells you to go down the path that was never taken. I'm not a poet, I'm not a philanthropist, neither am I a visionary. But I pushed my team to take a risk and said, let's go down a different path. They used to keep telling me all the light bulbs are either on or the shape of the light bulb is something different. All I asked was keep coming up with ideas. Let's see what needed to be done different. But the first thing we needed to answer for ourselves was the fact that we needed to do everything we did for the consumer and nobody else. We did not bring up the financial conversation first when we started this journey. We did not talk about the P&L, we never talked about profit, we never talked about loss, we never talked about any of that, and even today, we do because I have to report to the board, but everything we have done for the last 3.5 years has been about what needed to be different for the consumer. There was a reason she was not shopping at Spar anymore. There was a reason for it, and that reason was she did not want to go through that traffic. Have you been to Bangalore?
Yeah, stay there.
The traffic, paying $30 each time to come up, go back down, families not coming with her to shop. You know, every time she wanted to go to shop, guess what was going to happen? She would look at her husband and say, let's go to, I have to get groceries. And her husband is like, you go, I'll wait for you. And the kid is like, Mama, I don't want to go. I wanted to change that. We wanted to change that. We wanted to make sure that every time she said, I'm going to go shopping, they would say, you're going to Spar, I'm going to come. And that's when that journey started. If you look at this picture, are we going uphill or downhill? I'll leave it to debate this one. And I think that's what the journey was. We were not even sure where we were going, but we were clear in terms of we wanted to be different. We wrote this vision statement out 3 years back. You know, I worked for Target, I worked for Walmart, I worked for McKinsey. I've been part of teams that wrote vision statements and we didn't know what we did with it. This one, you ask any of us in our company, there's only about 242 of us, we live this every single day of our life. You ask any partner that works with Spar, anybody, they will tell you that they have access to Spar to deliver this. And this is where that journey started. It is quite simple, it just said we wanted to be the most engaging and innovative health market in India. And the reason was, all our competitors and ourselves were only shouting one thing. We were all saying, we had the lowest price. Well, everybody cannot have the lowest price, only one could, right? So something had to change. We also said one other thing that was important, and I implore you, all of you who are going to lead one day, lead in your next job itself, whatever you do, make a difference in the life of somebody around you. Start with yourself first, in this room. Make a difference in somebody's life before you leave this campus. Make a difference in the lives of your team members that you join and you're going to work with. Make a difference in the communities you work with and your shareholders. The profit will automatically come. I'm telling you, a lot of that is missing in society today. We're becoming individualistic, we're focused on what we want, what I want, and the we is going away from us. And I think that's the beauty of what we've been doing, and you'll see kind of at the end what it's helped us get. Digital was all around us. 99% of us in that company didn't understand what it was, except my guru, Sunil Nair, who will talk about it later on. And we would all look at him every time he said, oh yeah, we could do this, or we could do that, or whatever. But the best part of the journey is that the 2 people sitting here, who will be, I think, on panels later on today, are the ones who enabled this business and enabled the success of Spar in the last 3 years. Sunil, who's technically called a CTO, but is my business enabler, and Sultan, who is my head of HR, who I believe is the chief digital officer. And the reason I say that is, I think the culture of a company is what defines what it's going to be. Just because you say, I'm going to hire a digital officer, your company is not going to become digital tomorrow. You have to feel it, you have to see it, you have to sense it, and then you have to do something about it. So ideas kept coming. We kept looking around and saying, what's going wrong? How can we be different? And guess what? India is a perfect place to see differentiation. iPads, mobiles, you name it, all this kind of technology was around us. Flipkart, Big Basket, each one is coming up with something faster, quicker, better, and we're a small team of 7 people in the technology team, all 250 people trying to figure out how do we get out of this. This was the beauty, and this was the story of that engagement. We Indians, we figured out some way to have entertainment happening. And this is what you will kind of see in the Spar store today. But guess what? This is what life is about. If I had tried to do what I did in the US, and by the way, I did. I took my years of experience at Target, and I came back to India with Walmart, and I said, oh, this is how a store is supposed to be. And guess what? It was the biggest disaster we could have ever put on the ground because we did not understand our communities and our culture and our society. This is what India was about.
And I don't mean this in a very loose way. This is us. This is where everything is going on. But guess what is happening behind that brick? He has a mobile phone. He knows how to communicate. He is digitally connected. So when you are looking and exploring at the digital journey in front of you, don't just look at the top 10% of the echelon of who's techie. This is not about techie India. This is about 98% that is still looking for an opportunity. And that's why we had to do that because we're a hypermarket. We don't sell diamonds, we sell food and grocery. We sell apparel, we sell home. We have to cater to everybody, the child, the mother, the father, the grandmother, and the grandfather. So we have to look across the ecosystem to say, how do we make it work? While we have fun, and at the same time, not miss out on the digital journey that most of my competition was not even looking at in a sense. This is the beauty of India. How could we take on more? The curiosity inside our office was literally like this. We were just curiously learning. Any partner who came up, we were asking them, what could we do and what could we do different? Hats off to Sunil. Within 90 days of my joining, I had Bosch, TCS, HCL, NEC, Perpure, and I forget who else, all joined us in that journey to say, let's have fun for our consumer.
Like, share and subscribe to IndiaNewsTamil.com.